weather, but it's not exactly what it seems. Yeah, it's a lot chillier than usually this time of year. Amanda Weldon along with you, here to talk through some of our top headlines here at the Weather Network. Well, one of them is those chillier temperatures and the cold front that continues to slide down through Ontario, Quebec into Thursday, the Atlantic provinces as well into Thursday and the beginning of the weekend. But let's stay in Ontario for a second, because as that cold front slid down, and even Quebec, high pressure building in behind, ushering in cooler temperatures. Toronto struggling to get into those 20s. And in the Northwest Territories, we actually have some temperatures higher because of a ridge over the prairies. You'll see high temperatures in through your prairie forecast. Timmins at 13 and up into the north. Geraldton, we actually have a frost advisory for the overnight. So pretty chilly. It's returning, right? Well, I mentioned that it continues. This front continues to slide down through the Atlantic provinces, Maritimes. You're going to start to see those showers in through your Thursday if you're in New Brunswick, and then as well Nova Scotia, but a totally different reason because of that energy that we've been seeing tracking up through the coast. Newfoundland by Thursday as well. Pretty much widespread potential for rain for everyone, but not a complete washout by any means. The temperature trend will remain in the low degrees. St. John's 16, below seasonal for pretty much everybody. And it's not until later in the week that we could see that warm up into Sunday, 24 for Toronto. Well, let's take you outside because the hot conditions definitely not helping the fire situation in BC and Manitoba. Let's take a look at them. Winnipeg feeling like 30, Saskatoon 34. We'll continue to see heat warnings in place for Saskatchewan, probably going to drop for Thursday for Alberta. We did have them in the south, and then Vancouver even getting up to the feels like 25. But taking you back to the fire situation, smoke in through the prairies is definitely a part of our story. Widespread in through Manitoba, stretching all the way down to Brandon, and a trough sliding by. We'll talk about that active weather soon, but coming up after your local forecast, Amanda Weldon along with you, and our weather story continues. We have a few developing headlines here at the Weather Network, diving right into it. One of the main ones is that heat in through southern parts of the prairies, getting into the 30s and sustained for tomorrow as well. We did have heat warnings in through Alberta, Saskatchewan as well. Wouldn't be surprised if the Alberta ones fell, but Saskatchewan still seeing a lot of that heat in through your Thursday. Regina feels like 34, even a slight humidex in place as a trough continues to slide by. Vancouver feeling like 25 with a marine influence and very different temperatures in through Ontario and the Atlantic provinces. St. John's, even with a wind chill in there, and Toronto struggling to get into the 20s. Hey, we even had a frost advisory in place for the overnight and the morning, and we will continue to see those temperatures in through our 7-day forecast, and a little bit of an influence from a tropical low, bringing some higher tide and swells and rain for the coast of Nova Scotia as well as Newfoundland into tomorrow. And taking you stateside, life-threatening flooding continues in Houston. Here's the long ranger. Well, it's certainly interesting the way that weather can divide a country. To the west, the story is the heat. And to the east, it's actually calm but cool conditions building in, except for this front that continues to pass by. That's been bringing storms and shower potential and even a cool down, and that's really going to be the story in through Ontario. You'll see more of this in your local forecast throughout the week, but temperatures cooling down and in through the overnight and pre-dawn hours, even a frost advisory up until the north. I know, can you believe it? Well, Toronto struggling to get into those 20s by Thursday afternoon. You might want to pack an extra layer, that's for sure. Even Ottawa, only 16 degrees and quite a lot of cloud cover in through Ottawa and the Ottawa Valley. Sault Ste. Marie clear though, 18. That cold front has passed by, and it's bringing in cooler temperatures. And as it has passed by, those showers have been part of our story. The Maritimes getting into that for the beginning of the weekend, as well as a Friday for the Maritimes, the weekend beginning for Newfoundland, as well as this tropical system that's been moving up the coast, dropping higher surf and higher winds as well. Taking a look at the temperatures in through the Maritimes and the trend, well, we are continuing to see them quite cool. Halifax cooling off to 20 there. But you know, the main story right now and through Canada is actually the fires in Manitoba. Getting into it as well, 126 fires are burning, and in through BC, when I last checked, it was at 125. Can you believe it? So smoke has been a big problem and hot conditions. Let's actually take you to this clip now. Well, there's so much you can do through the Red Cross, and people have been evacuated from their homes. Look at the smoke and the air quality conditions. We'll get to BC in just a second, but widespread northern Saskatchewan, spreading all the way down to Brandon, even northwestern Ontario, getting into that, and of course, the smoke advisory for British Columbia. Well, you will see your weather wherever you are in your local forecast right now. Like this, you have to know that there have been a lot of rescues taking place. Amanda Weldon along with you, tracking the way that, well, we're still calling it Harvey, but it's really a tropical storm at this point, unnamed, and continues to move up the shores, even could get into our Ontario forecast later into the week, just energy from Harvey. Now, the past 6 hours have been interesting, the way that it's moving, finally steering away from Houston, made its third landfall, attached to it lightning threats as well as tornado threats with this. Depends on what area you are in, but at least we know some of this. Wind speeds 55 kilometers per hour with this. And because of the impact that we have seen in through Houston, because of the impact we have seen in through Texas and Louisiana, we'll take you now to Governor Greg Abbott with more. Well, we'll continue to have updates about Harvey and the situation stateside through the hour, but taking a look at our side of the border, fires continuing to burn in through BC, hot conditions, no measurable precipitation to the south, and that means it's really exacerbated the situation, and we'll take you as well to the prairies. Because this smoke advisory, it's not from the fires in BC. There's actually 126 fires burning in through Manitoba alone. And the smoke and the variable winds have been shifting it all the way through the prairies. We're going to go to Deb in just a second, but I also want to show you the other main story. Well, it's the sizzling summer heat, and it's back and very prominent. We will continue to see that in Saskatchewan, temperatures into the 30s, and we already saw it in through our Wednesday, Thursday. It's going to be part of your story as well, and in through Monday, we could even see some of those temperatures pretty high. Here's Deb.